Hi, everybody, and welcome to the next series in our multilingual SEO series. Today, we are going to be taking a look at international SEO in Japan. And I'd like to welcome our speaker, Issei Marita, to join us. He's a Japanese SEO freelancer based in Yokohama. He's been an SEO freelancer for about 5 years now and works mainly with a mix of Japanese and international companies. Before that, he used to work for different types of brands, so outdoor brands, food companies, electronics manufacturers, and his favorite part of SEO is keyword research and content writing. So over to you, Issei.
Yeah, I'd like to speak about these topics today. At first, I'd like to introduce some Japanese language characteristics in Japanese SEO, and next, search engine share in Japan, and culture impact search behavior in Japan, and why translating their US or local strategy doesn't work, and tech market in Japan, and finally, local channels.
That sounds perfect. So let's get started and talk about the Japanese language in SEO.
Yeah. At first, dialect in SEO. There are more than 100 different dialects in Japan, but SEO does not need to worry about dialect since Japanese people search in standard Japanese, so you don't need to worry about dialect in Japanese SEO.
That's good because doing 100 different dialects, I think, would be hard work.
Yeah, it's hard to Japanese.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And are Japanese people bilingual? No, Japanese people speak only Japanese. So Japanese SEO does not need to worry about anything other than Japanese. However, Japanese people are also very poor when it comes to speaking, writing, or reading English. It seems to me. So when international companies translate a web page, please make sure that no English sentences are left in the web page. I often see Japanese pages of international companies with English sentences left over. So Japanese user easily left when they saw English in the web page. So please make sure there is no English sentences in web page.
That's a really good point because that's something that I see often as well. So yeah, I think it's really important to note that I can't believe people actually will leave if they see English
Yes.
sentences. Wow. So it's super important to stick with Japanese.
And next one is very important for Japanese SEO. Hiragana, katakana, and kanji keywords. Before explaining this, let me first explain the characters used in the Japanese language. The Japanese language has three types of characters. First one is hiragana. This one is basic character and there are 46 in all. And second one is kanji. Kanji characters are used to reduce the number of letters and make sentences easier to read. There are approximately 2000 characters, so much. So example, hiragana of I is 3 characters and kanji of I is just 1 character. So you can reduce the number of letters. And third one is katakana. This one mainly foreign words and things are written in katakana.
That's super interesting. So keyword research, you have three different
Yes.
alphabets to contend with. Wow.
In addition, the Latin alphabet is also often used these days. So, like book, Instagram, IT, or DX, Japanese people can read these characters.
Wow, just to make things more complicated, fourth alphabet in
Yeah.
there.
And I would like to show some example of hiragana, katakana, and kanji keyword. For example, there are 3 Japanese characters in the back translation: katakana, hiragana, and kanji. And these all mean back.
Wow.
And next one is egg. Egg translation. There are 4 translations of eggs: katakana, hiragana, and 2 types of kanji. These all mean egg.
Wow.
This is complicated for international companies. So another example of translation. This is the translation of banana. only katakana is used for things that doesn't originally come from Japan, so but are imported from overseas. And this is the translation of strawberry. There are three translations for strawberry. Kanji and hiragana are used for things that originally existed in Japan. And for SEO, we use all characters and depending on the case.
So I
So
think this goes to show that you really, really need a native Japanese speaker who can help you
yes,
decipher between
definitely.
katakana and kanji.
Yeah, there is no clear answer for Japanese SEO keyword.
That takes skill.
So even in the case of B2B business translations, there are often two or more Japanese words or characters in the English translation. Whether hiragana, kanji, or katakana is used depends on the case. When translating SEO pages, use keywords with the highest search volume. And please check SEO competition and subs Japanese in Japanese. The Japanese keyword selection is the most important part of Japanese SEO and will be explained in detail later with example keywords. In addition, there is no plural form in Japanese, so apples is same in Japanese. And there is no article, the apple and apple is same, just one translation. Also, the subject can also be omitted. Japanese do not use you, I, us, and our very often. So I often see translated pages with too many use of you, we, and I. So this Japanese people feel weird when they see you, we, and I in the web page. So in this case, simply removing you, we, and I will bring the Japanese language closer to natural Japanese.
That is super interesting because I think most of it, like, we wouldn't realize that something as simple as omitting I or you or
Mhm.
we could make things more natural.
And also, there are no spaces in the sentence, but spaces are used when searching for keywords in search engines. So please note, search volume may differ with and without spaces in some SEO tools. For example, Google Search Console and Ahrefs treat the same keyword with and without spaces as different keywords.
That's really interesting. So if you don't speak Japanese, you can pull out a list of keywords and they could actually be the same keyword
Mhm.
just twice. Wow.
And here is the example of Google Search Console. Uh, this one means both keywords means SEO writing, and the difference is only with or without space. But Google Search Console treat different keywords. And this one is Ahrefs search result, and two keywords is same meaning, project management, and difference is only space, but search volume is different. So please note, when you search Japanese keyword in SEO tools, please make sure the with or without keyword without spaces for keywords.
That's super interesting because, like, the difference in search volume is so much just because of the space.
Yes, yeah, just be careful with spaces.
I think you've demonstrated this very well. Careful with spaces in
Yeah.
Japanese.
And next topic is about Japanese search engines. Here is the Japanese search engine market share. For desktop PC, Google has 77% share, and next is Yahoo. Yahoo has 14%, and Bing has only 8%. For mobile, Google has 75% and Yahoo has 25%. And this is important about Yahoo. Yahoo Yahoo uses Google's algorithm, so SEO in Japan is enough to consider only Google. Of course, advertising is different, but when doing SEO in Japan, you 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 only need to do Google.
That makes things a little bit easier than if people
Yeah.
don't have to worry about doing Yahoo. But I can see that advertising is different,
Mhm.
so I'm sure you probably have some surprises for us coming up.
And next topic is how culture impacts search behavior. And first one, I would like to explain about prices in Japan. As for prices, there are so many different types of people in Japan. Some people are looking for cheap product and some people are looking for high-end services, so you don't need to worry about the price for search engines. There are a lot of types of people in Japan.
That's interesting. So buyer personas are definitely very important
Mhm.
then.
And this one is also important for international companies. Japanese people are very interested in rankings, comparisons, reviews, lists, and tables. I feel that the Japanese people are very interested in ranking, comparisons, reviews, lists, and tables. This applies to both B2C and B2B. In terms of keywords, search volume for keywords such as comparison, ranking, reviews, word of mouth, lists, and recommended can be high than other countries. Even for keywords with high search volume, blog pages that compare list many products are often displayed in the first position.
That's really interesting.
And this is an example. This is a sub of the keyword inquiry management system, but there are 9 comparison blogs and 1 what is article, and there is no product pages in the sub.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
So having comparisons, what is, and that kind of content is super important for Japan then.
Yes. And next example is video edit software of SAP. There are 9 comparison blogs and only 1 product page. So if international companies want to success in Japanese SEO, the international company needs to write comparison blog.
Such a good takeaway because in when we do English SEO, it's not such a big thing.
Yeah.
So I think many people forget to do that.
And here is the example of ranking. This is a screenshot of SaaS comparison website, and ranking are displayed in various sections. This one is system ranking and this one is CRM system ranking. So Japanese people like to see ranking.
That's great.
And review. This is a Salesforce review pages, and there are more than 300 reviews in this page. Salesforce is B2B software, but there are a lot of reviews in Japanese. So review is important for Japanese SEO. And this one is another example, review, comparison, and ranking. There are a lot of ranking in the cosmetic review site, and there are a lot of comparison blog page in this site, and also there are a lot of ranking in this page. So Japanese people like to see review, comparison, and rankings.
Super interesting. So rankings, reviews for absolutely everything.
So if you want to succeed in SEO in Japan, you may need to write a comparative article that includes the product of your competitors.
It's a super good point. I think that's one that definitely, when we're doing English marketing content, we don't normally think about or wouldn't think about, especially if it includes competitors.
Yeah, sometimes international companies don't like this kind of article, but I
Hmm.
recommend to use this strategy. And next topic is why translating English strategy doesn't work. And there are some reasons for fail to Japanese SEO, but I think most foreign companies fail in Japanese SEO because they use the wrong keywords. In many cases, there are 2 or more translations of Japanese for English words. In the case of translated Japanese, the translation is correct, but the search volume is often low.
I think that's something that we see a lot as well. That just the wrong choice of keywords can make such a big difference in campaigns.
Uh, I'd like to show some examples of what I also see with other. keyword. For example, social media of translation, there are two translation, but above search volume is 6,600 and below one is a lot. uh, this one is yes, and translation for social media marketing, upper one is 9,900 search volume, but below one is only 390. So you should select above one. Yes. For mobile or mobile app, this is same. For laptop, website, so video. I see a lot of translation below to translation, but please select the first translation for the translation of video. Web marketing, and there are big difference between each translations. For translation of project management, katakana one is more search volume. Yeah, marketing automation, in this case, katakana keyword is better than kanji keyword. Kanji keyword is only 40 search volume. And the business management, this case, katakana keyword is better than kanji keyword. Business plan, there are three translations, but kanji one is highest search volume. Free trial, this case, kanji keywords have more search volume. Thus, there are very many cases where the meaning is the same, but the search volume is different. And when foreign companies translate Japanese keywords with low search volume are often chosen. If the product, services, or topic is popular in Japan and SEO traffic is low, please suspect the wrong keyword.
I think that's such a good point. Look at the alphabets, look at the keywords, and if your traffic isn't working in Japan, it's probably the poor choice of keywords that you've chosen the wrong synonym or something. I think that's something that we see a lot.
Yes. So, solution for wrong keywords in Japanese. Please always do keyword research before launching page. And if a page has already been launched and is not getting any traffic, you may be using the wrong keywords. So please try looking for other keywords with existing web page. And also, if you have two translations and both keywords have high search volume, I recommend creating two pages if the search volume is high for both in the same meaning keyword. And this is the example of two translations have high search volume. Project management.
So you definitely recommend creating two project management pages for the two different keywords and then A/B testing which one
Yes.
works best.
And this is the sub of project management result. In this case, I recommend creating two pages for each keyword. The sub is very different for two keywords.
It's really interesting.
Next topic is the Japanese and tech culture. The Japanese market is very large and there are existing competitors for most products and services. There are many large companies as well as small and medium-sized companies and startup tech companies. And also the language barrier is also quite high. And if a product service is already available in Japan, Japanese people will use the service of a Japanese company for communication, trust, and security reasons. Therefore, before working on SEO, find out if the product service is already in Japan. If the product is already in Japan, international company needs to have better strong point than the Japanese company product. If there is already a similar product or services in Japan, the foreign company needs to use other means to compete point because it is difficult to compete in communication. I suggest some recommendation in the next slide. I would suggest 4 point branding, sales, technology, number of users and agency. For branding, the Japanese people like companies with strong branding, and it would be best if PR and branding could be strengthened along with SEO so that people can search for the brand name. For example, Apple, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, IKEA, Costco, Bulgari, Under Armour, etc. This company is very successful in Japan for branding. For sales, at least I recommend one Japanese salesperson who understands Japanese culture is needed. From a cultural aspect, face-to-face communication and word of mouth is still very effective in Japan. Communication and follow-up after acquiring new leads through SEO are very important in Japan.
It's a very important point.
For technology and number of users, if your company have an advantage over Japanese companies in terms of technology, functionality, number of users, etc., you have a good chance to succeed in Japan. Finally, agency. There are related distributors in Japan, including those in the tech and IT industry. International companies may consider a distributor in the early stage of entering the Japanese market, as they already have many Japanese customers on how to succeed in Japan.
That's super interesting, not being afraid to ask for help.
Finally, about local channels in Japan. At first, I recommend LINE as LINE is a chat tool used by over 92 million people in Japan and making it Japan's super application. It offers a wide variety of advertising and is a particularly recommended channel for B2C companies. And next one is Yahoo Ads. Yahoo is the second largest search engine in Japan and offers ads similar to Google Ads. And many Japanese companies use Google Ads and Yahoo Ads with 50% ad budget each. So I recommend it. I recommend Yahoo Ads because overseas companies do not often use them. Next one is Note. Note is a Japanese blogging service like Medium and has 63 million MAUs and is recommended if you are planning to try a blog like Medium in Japan. Local online media or paid media. There are online media and paid media for each industry. It is recommended to consider if many Japanese companies are registered or referred. Below are a few tech-related examples.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Issei, for joining us. I really appreciate it. And I think the tips that you've given us are going to be super useful for clients looking to expand into Japan.
Thank you, Sarah.